Right, I'm here on at the junction of Westwick Road and Crawshaw Grove in Greenhill. I just want to have a look at the trees that are coming out. I think there's only two on this street with removal notices on them. Trees damaging surrounding structures, curb, footpath, boundary walls. That's really not insurmountable at all. I don't see why that can't be dealt with. It's a small lime tree. It's not particularly big. There's a lot more years of growth in that before it becomes a major problem. Just a slight realignment of the curbs, all that's needed there. But as we saw at the last meeting at the town hall, these extra engineering problems, they're not available because supposedly there isn't the money there. Of course, if Amy weren't making a profit, there would be the money there, because their profit should be spent on doing the best for the people that they are serving. But anyhow, that's by the by. So that tree looks okay to me. And if anything, there are trees here which... there's three actually. I've missed one. Maybe more. Hold on. Because I haven't crossed over the road yet. There's a maple. I don't think it's a sycamore. But it's a very nice maple that's... It's the same excuse on this one. The tree is damaging surrounding structures. You see, this is a classic case of... There is a lot of heavage on this one. This is a classic case of how, when these trees were planted, they weren't planted properly. And I feel that trees today that are now being planted by Amy on streets are not going to be planted properly. Trees need a good 6 foot around the base of good quality earth that's not compacted, so that their roots can spread. And if their roots aren't capable of spreading, then you get this kind of scenario happening, where the roots just swirl round and round in the small pocket that the tree's got. They become prone to drought, they become prone to disease, lack of nutrients, and the trees quite often can struggle. And I think that's a classic case with that cherry tree over the other side of the road that is coming out. And personally, yes, I would have that tree out there. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of big forest trees on streets, especially narrow streets without grass verges. I can't stress this enough, that if you have wide grass verges, then yes, and hence the housing is well back from the street, then yes. You know, you can have big forest trees like sycamores and limes and oaks and ash and beech, etc. And they're wonderful and they look fantastic. But on narrow streets like this, the amount of leaf litter, the amount of shade that they cast is just way too much. Hiya. Just looking at the trees.
Sorry?
Just looking at the trees that are coming down.
And what's your opinion on them?
Personally, I'm just recording, so if we don't mind, I'm just going to carry on talking.
And what are you recording for?
Just for for anybody who's interested in listening to what I've got to say, basically.
And I'm interested.
All right. Personally, I'm not a fan of big forest trees on relatively narrow side streets like this.
Just what I wanted to hear.
Right.
I've had a hell of a week.
And I'm a big fan, and I'm a big tree nut myself. But if you've got wide grass verges, you go up to Worlowdale Road, for example, where you have lovely big limes and beech and sycamore and horse chestnut. It's wonderful because there's plenty of space there. And the houses are well set back, so they're not casting deep shade. The leaves have plenty of room to spread out when they fall, etc. But on narrow streets like this,
Stupid.
yeah, you want tree. I think you want trees, but
Totally in favour.
Yeah.
but I think, I mean, if I lived in that bungalow there, because I'm a gardener as well, and I like gardening. What can I plant? I mean, you can see how everything's struggling in that garden there. You
The right side of our garden.
yeah.
We can only plant shaded plants.
Yeah, yeah.
We have no daylight.
Yeah, exactly.
But yesterday, I had a meeting with Roy Munn,
Right.
totally in support of what the council are doing. Everybody on this road, we are incandescent that we have been flyered by the Save the Tree people.
Right.
We were then on a walking protest for the third time this week with Richard Shaw, the Lib Dem. So he came, I
Right.
sent him an email and he came last night.
Right.
And they are totally backing off
The biggest
from what they've said.
Right. Right.
The biggest problem we've got is the damage. If you look, if it's
My
just,
neighbours have
Yeah.
had to have
I've
their
just been
drive-
looking
look
at
our
it.
wall,
Yeah.
how it's going there, and
Yeah.
the roots are right under the drive.
I mean, you can see how that wall next door as well, how
Yeah.
it's just leaning like that.
And the roots are right up the drive. It's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
We've got roots in the drains. We're in a right mess.
Yeah.
So we're quite, we're quite worried about the damage that's.
Well, you would be. I mean, I can see your wall, and I'm videoing it now. Yeah, I can see your wall is leaning like that at that side
and you can
there.
see the roots that are actually
Yeah.
pushing it over.
Yeah.
Just have a look at this wall across the road, just while you're here. Just have a look at this little wall.
Yeah.
Just here. Can you see
Yeah,
that?
I'm gonna go across. I don't think
Yeah.
there's a notice on that tree though, so I don't think that's coming down,
It
is it?
coming down.
Is it?
Yeah,
Right.
they ran out of notices.
Right,
But
okay.
if you are interested in Josie, has been doing the same as me this week. We've been.
Where are you from?
I live in Hillsborough, so I'm not local. Well, I'm local. I'm a Sheffielder, but I did a walk through of Rustlins Road. I've got. If you go on to, I'm just thinking where that video is. If you just type into YouTube, Rustling Road trees, then the video that I did, similar to what I'm doing now, will come up, and I'm basically just talking into my iPhone and giving my opinions on the trees.
I've got the assurance of the Lib Dem councillor
Right.
and Debbie Elsden, who
Yeah.
started the Save the Tree thing round here, that they are so sorry that they've been hijacked by the media and other groups.
Yeah.
It was never their intention.
Yeah.
Their intention was to say, if you'd like to keep your tree, we would try and help you. I don't believe what they've said to me.
Right.
But I will take their word for it. If I find anybody else flyering round here
Yeah.
without asking us what we think.
This is my fundamental point all
You were
along.
really nice. You just said to me then as I came out, I'm just recording, do you mind?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got up one morning and all the trees on here had been flyed to save the trees.
Right.
Are they going to pay for the damage?
This is the problem, because the point I keep making is two fundamental points. One, always the right tree in the right place.
Yep.
Never the wrong tree in the wrong place. And there's a classic case of the wrong tree in the wrong place. Yeah, it's a London place. A big forest tree. It's a huge tree. You see them down in London, 400 years old, that were planted by Henry VIII, and they're 200 foot tall nearly. It's ridiculous.
What's really upset me is it is not a tree destruction policy. It is a tree replacement
Yes.
programme.
The problem that I do have, because I did go to the meeting at the town hall on earlier this week, I think it was Wednesday, and one of the big concerns is that when they take a tree out, they're supposed to take the roots out as well, but they're only going down so far as they can get away with, and then they put another tree on the top. So there is still a load of root underneath. So it means that any tree that they're planting now in 10, 15, 20 years' time, really when the contract is up, chances are there will be problems then because the trees weren't given the best start in life. That's a major problem as well.
I don't know
we
why.
have taken that on board.
I don't know why they're going to try and plant in the same hole. It doesn't make sense.
Well, as long as they're going to prepare it right, it's not a problem. But of course, it's they want to cut back
What we've been told
wherever
that
possible.
They're doing is they only take them. They don't take them right down to the floor to start with. They're taking them to about that high.
Yeah.
Then they're letting it all settle.
Yeah.
Then they're taking it down to the floor, and then between October and April, to give the trees the very best chance, is when they will plant.
Yeah.
So
And that is ridiculous, because if the planting is late, well, I think it's March. If the planting is late as March, unless you're going to water the tree, somebody's going to come out and water it the next summer, which some people will, and I've done it myself. If we get a warm summer, it's not going to survive. November, December is really the ideal planting
they're
time.
doing the paths in October.
Yeah.
So I think, but our major concern, these should have come down in April.
Right.
And then there was all the hoo-ha from the high moral ground environmentalists.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come and look at our garden. We have owls on our garden. We garden, we grow our own.
I'd like to do that. I'm going to stop this video now and just
Where's my dog?
I'll start recording again in a bit.